Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, we have quite the things to talk about this AM, and today we do have our uncensored show following this TikTok live this morning because I've got more and more stuff about this Epstein stuff is coming out, right? And I'm telling y'all, if y'all not looking at it, I'll say this. Y'all saw, I'll wait before I talk about what Ro Khanna did yesterday. Because the mainstream media, they ain't talking about it like that. I told y'all they're complicit in the shit. I told y'all. I told you. I've been telling you from the beginning, the mainstream media, they are owned by a lot of the rich people, either that are associated with people whose names were read yesterday, or there's some of them, right? This thing goes deep. It ain't just about protecting Trump, right? Trump's a big part of it. Don't get me wrong. But I believe one of the reasons why we haven't found out more information is, again, it goes back to the players involved. And remember what I told y'all. Republicans voted for it because you were watching. They really don't want to get to the bottom of this at all. They really, really don't want to get to the bottom of this, because getting to the bottom of it is going to expose a lot of their rich donors. They don't want to expose their rich donors. They want to keep things going in the way that they've been going up to this point. They do not want to expose rich donors at all. They want the money. So if I want the money, I'm not going to feel really comfortable about exposing the rich donors. And let me stop for a second. Good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. How y'all are doing this morning, this Wednesday morning? We made it to hump day. We made it to hump day. And of course, more and more stuff is going down because it's hump day, right? So good morning to you all. Thank you for joining me this morning. I appreciate you being here. I put this image up real quick because Trump loves to put his name on everything. Everything. And his name is all up and through those files too, which has also been confirmed, right, by multiple members of Congress now. Okay? Oh, I didn't know it was Alto's birthday. Happy birthday to you. I'm sorry, I'm just running my mouth. Happy birthday to you. Isn't it a beautiful thing to turn 21 again? I've been 21 multiple times. So enjoy your day. Yeah, enjoy your day. That's what I always say. Enjoy your day. Now, did y'all hear about the guy that unalived his daughter? I am still 21. Listen, I've been 21 a many a day, okay? What do they say? I'm trans 21. I'll say it like that. I'm trans 21. I identify as 21. So don't be questioning it, okay? Now, so y'all didn't hear about the guy? Oh, 64, awesome. Now, y'all didn't hear about the guy that unalived his daughter after a fight about Donald Trump? Guy out of Texas. Yeah, out of Texas. He and his daughter got into an argument about Donald Trump. And then, now I'm going to tell you what I've read, what the guy says. Later on, long after that happened, he went upstairs to go get his pew-pew, and he just wanted to show it to his daughter, and it accidentally went off. Right. Okay. That's how that works. Said nobody ever. Right? Think about how radicalized you have to be to see your child as an enemy when you're talking about Donald Trump. This is why I told y'all a long time ago, folks who support the MAGA movement, it's not politics. It's different than that. I told y'all it's an identity. It's a movement. It's who they are in their bones. I told y'all that's why I call them the People's Temple of Politics. I told y'all that's why I call them that. It's reminiscent of the People's Temple. It's the same type of shit. You speak out against it, that might be a problem for you in certain environments. It may not be safe for you to do those things because these people have been radicalized, that they are to sacrifice everything for somebody who wouldn't sacrifice nothing for them. I told y'all. This is why you can't have sensible conversations with them. This is why I don't, right? I don't have sensible conversation. I even saw somebody say yesterday, you got to start giving Republicans credit, like Thomas Massey and stuff like that, who said, I don't have to do any of that. Because there were many egregious things that the president was doing long before the Epstein files, yet nothing happened. So miss me with all that shit. Now I'm like, I don't give them credit for low-hanging fruit. They had to go all the way to that before they push back. Now, I'm not giving nobody credit for that shit. They were like, oh, we can find common ground. I don't have common ground with racists, anti-Semites, misogynists, xenophobia, folks that lean into xenophobia. I don't have a common ground with people like that. Fuck you mean? I don't give a shit that they want the price of eggs lower than I do. I don't give a shit about that. Because at the end of the day, everything else that they co-sign and that they agree with, I don't. So I don't care that we have a couple of things we agree on. I don't care. Hey, Sonia, I'm glad you're feeling better, beautiful. Oh, thank you so much. Look, this skin is glowing this morning, courtesy of Korean skincare and a little Vaseline. Listen. Yeah, you're right about that, Restful Queen. It's not an opinion. It is hate. It's a lot of it's racism. You know what's interesting to watch? So many people be surprised by so much racism now. Everybody's like, I had no idea America was so racist. Where the fuck have you been? I keep telling folks, make America great again is fucking racist. Just the statement is racist. I kept telling folk. Okay? I kept telling folk. What's the name of my skincare? I'll bring it out towards the end. It was some stuff I bought out of TikTok shop. And Vaseline. I'm not bullshitting. And not even name brand Vaseline. Like, I got this shit from Dollar General. Vaseline is Vaseline. Real shit. The key is sealing in that moisture. Hey, Halfback Gaming, good morning to you. So I'm asking the questions that nobody is asking about this father in Texas who unalived his own daughter. She was an adult, but he still did it. She didn't threaten him. She didn't do nothing. None of that stuff, right? Now listen to this. I wonder, I know he wasn't black, but I wonder, was he black? Was he brown? Was he Muslim? No, he was a white Christian male. And I keep saying that in America, some of the most radical stuff you see comes out of evangelicalism. I wasn't sure if he's on a face chart. Let me see. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't face any charges because he says it happened after the fact, when he was trying to show her his pew-pew. They haven't brought a criminal case against him yet, after a grand jury in Texas declined to indict him. And what do they always tell you? A grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. That's if the prosecutor wants that. It either has to be so ridiculous that the grand jury is like, this is a waste of my fucking time. I had to take off work for this bullshit, so I'm voting no. Or either the prosecutor didn't really want an indictment. Yep, she was only 23 years old. 23 years old. And apparently they had a big argument, her and her father. And okay, I'm reading more in the story. So the daddy had previously been in rehab, but he had been out. And he had relapsed on the same day of the event that it happened, right? And that same day was the day. So since when does libation stop you from being held accountable? You okay, Pooh? I heard something back there. Since when do libation stop you from being held accountable for things that you've done? Since when does it do that? But okay. All right. So that's probably why he doesn't have any charges. Because he was able to hide behind that. You know, Republicans don't believe in personal responsibility when it's them. It's only when it's other people, right? It's only when it's other people. But when it's them, nah, we don't do personal responsibility. We don't do that. Personal responsibility is for suckers. Thank you, KJ. Yeah, personal responsibility is for suckers. Because he's getting to walk away like nothing ever happened. And that's just real talk. Now, I want to tell y'all know how we always talk about the leopards eating the faces of folks? Well, listen, I want to share with you about a nice big meal that the leopards had recently. Okay? This brought a smile to my face. And it brought a smile to my face because conservatives voted for this. What they never told you was they voted for it to happen to everybody else but them. But they didn't use enough foresight to realize that it would happen. Hey, user 345. No, I'm not showing you anything because people like you don't care about what Trump has done. Blocked. Came in all loud. You know it's a man. Because when you say something about Trump, the DL men get all upset. Don't you be talking about my boyfriend. Calm down, sir. I don't want him for myself. You can have him. You can have him. They get all worked up. Prove it. Why? Y'all don't like proof. Y'all don't like facts at all. What the fuck you want me to prove it for? You don't want no facts. You hate facts. Y'all love conjecture. So shut up. They love to talk. Now listen, y'all. I'm back to smiling again when I'm thinking about leopards getting full. So listen to this. Jim Brown of Montana is a conservative, of Missouri, is a conservative Christian who voted for Trump to deport immigrants. Listen to me now. Then ICE detained his permanent resident wife in a cell at Chicago O'Hare for writing a bad check. Oh, now, after losing MAGA friends and enduring taunts from others, Brown regrets his vote. He says, I was an idiot. No shit, Sherlock. And I still don't give a damn about your wife. It won't change nothing about how I feel over here. Nothing. Because he didn't give a shit as long as it was happening to other people. Well, maybe your wife shouldn't have been writing bad checks. Maybe you should have gave her the money so she wouldn't have had to do that. Sounds like he was a bad husband. Right? And get this. Guess how much the check was for? $25. I'm sorry, this shit's hilarious to me. I find it funny. I always find it funny when people play with monsters and then surprised they get eaten. You can't play with monsters and not expect to be eaten. And they've been in bed with these monsters. And they thought that the monsters would only come after the people that they hated. That's what they thought. That's what they thought. They thought wrong. Somebody said, what does it even mean? It means that you got blocked. Yeah, $25 check. And keep in mind, get this. Guess when she wrote the check? It's not like she did this shit recently. She wrote the check in 2014. The check was only $25. Not $25,000, not $2,500, not $250, $25. And they were going to deport her over that. I'd give no fucks. I'm like the leopards these days. Hello, the leopards eat your face company. Okay, sir, can you slow down for a second? If you could just hold on the line. We have about 50,000 people ahead of you, but if you hold on the line, we will get to you. We promise. Okay? All right. That's why I said, I don't feel nothing for these people. Nothing. See, that's the thing liberals got to get away from. I gotta keep notes of this. I'm making a note for myself. I gotta make a note real quick. All right. So, yeah. I feel nothing. So, congrats to him. And I see his wife. Oh, she's passing. She's one of those passers that you would look at her and you don't know she's not white, but she's not white. The government knew. Hey, Miss Jackie, government knew. That's why they picked her ass up. Because they knew. Right? And she thought that wearing her little plaid shirt and they wearing their little baseball caps. No, ma'am. You know who's not getting hemmed up in this shit? Bad Bunny. But this guy's wife, she got hemmed up. We warned them all, but they know what they said? We're overreacting. Didn't they say that? They said, y'all just overreacting. Zarvis, I'm talking about this guy whose wife, he's a MAGA, and his wife got hemmed up with ICE for writing a $25 bad check. And now he say he was an idiot for voting for Trump. As if that makes a difference. He can say this shit all he wants to. He cares. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard the same thing. And you think it worked the first time for that. It's working for Trump because the Republican. They haven't been in that Republican officials in Congress, they agree with the same shit that Trump is doing and that Trump is saying. They just don't say it. They let Trump be the distraction. They agree with all the shit because Congress could have stopped it like yesterday. They got the same power that this got, but Republicans in Congress won't do a damn thing. So you got to ask yourself why your tax dollars are paying a salary of $174,000 a year to a congressperson that refuses to work. I love me. If they were all PDFs, conservatives would do something, but they're not. They're mostly conservatives. That's why they won't do nothing. You've been blocked, beloved. No, we're not going to both sides this shit. We ain't going to both sides it. Because guess what? If Bill Clinton is in those files doing what Trump claims he's doing, release the shit. Unredacted. We're not sitting over here saying, protect Bill Clinton. We're not doing that. We're calling it out. We're calling it out. And to be honest with you, this Epstein thing to me has exposed a lot of people, a lot of regular people, in terms of if people will tolerate victimization of vulnerable people, right? Follow my logic. If they will tolerate victimization of vulnerable people, right? What make you think you safe? Because you're not a child? Thank you, William. I appreciate that, A. Williams. Thank you so much. Do you think because you're a child, you're exempt? You're not special. They'll get you too. What is you talking about? That's why nobody should have any tolerance for this shit. But I'm going to connect some dots for y'all this morning. Now, don't forget, I told y'all we're going to do our Patreon live after this because I got other shit to show y'all and have you listen to that I can't play here over on TikTok because TikTok going to be funny. This is satire. Trump did not say Obama need to be named after him. He didn't say that. But it exposes the ridiculousness of it being said. Now, I'm going to show y'all something. Did y'all see this yesterday? So Ro Khanna went on the House floor. Because remember, Congress been getting access to the unredacted files. And he read these names off from the files that he saw. The names that the Justice Department chose to redact. Why? It's okay, Ashley. I understand. Why would the Justice Department feel the need to redact any of these names? Why? They're not victims. Not at all. See, what we're going to find, I'm telling you, this thing is deep and it's not going away because other countries are doing investigations. So that turns up the heat on America, right? America can't just stuff it into a dark corner like it's been doing. Why? Because now other countries, they want people held accountable and they want to know who in their country was doing the shit. Right? That's what they want to know. Oh, I didn't mean for that to fall out. So that's a big thing. Oh, shoot. Dang it. Hold on, y'all. My charger piece fell up under my chair. Okay, there we go. That's why the media, they want to distract you. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I was thinking about this last night. You know how Trump is going into all these different states with the ICE and all that other shit? That's another distraction for those Epstein files. They try to keep that Epstein file shit out the news. That's all. Flood the zones in different cities to keep that Epstein shit out the news. Because if they can keep it out of the news, they keep it out of your face. And if it stays out of your face, then you won't get on your elected officials to do something. That's the whole point of it. They don't want that to happen. Now, today, I'm going to tell you, Pitmaster, Papa, I know your grandkids told you typing in all caps is yelling. Don't nobody want to hear you yelling. Bye, beloved. Get out of here. Go yell somewhere else. Bye. Y'all know when I start talking about Trump, all the DL men start popping up in the chat. As soon as the wives go to work, the husbands be online professing their love for men. Ladies, install a camera in your house. Because no sooner than your ass leave for work, your husband's on the internet fighting other people that talks about Donald Trump. Something ain't right. You ain't gonna see much about it on the news. You know why? Because a lot of the rich people that own these big media companies are friends with these people. Some of them own these companies. They not about to let that shit be out there. Now y'all understand why they see. Okay, look. I wrote this down last night, and we're gonna go in depth on it in Patreon this morning. Thank you so much, dearest Amanda. I'm gonna tell you my connection with all this stuff. I want y'all to follow me here. Y'all remember back years ago when they talked about the Steele dossier? Y'all remember that? That whole Steele dossier conversation, and it was all this stuff in there, and some of that stuff was supposed to be bad about Trump. Y'all remember that, right? Now this is me connecting shit and going, right, okay, you catching me, Kim? You picking up what I'm putting down. And I said then about this alleged tape, I said, well, what's the big deal? Trump can spin anything, right? He can spin anything. So what's the big deal? Then last night I was washing dishes, right? Because that's when the shit come to you when you washing dishes, right? I was being domestic and was like, wait a minute. What if on that tape it's real, but it's young, if you get where I'm coming from, right? Okay. Follow that. Leave that little piece right there, right? Okay. Then Trump so-called, remember Jeffrey Epstein met his maker when Trump was in office the first time. Remember that. They say Trump so-called sold him out to the feds and told about all these things this man was doing, but Trump wasn't involved. And then magically, while Trump is president, that same man comes up unalive in prison, a high security prison. Follow the logic here. None of this shit is an accident. Everything was designed to try to keep this shit from moving. Now, I want y'all to think back. You've heard reports that people been reporting this shit to the FBI since the 90s, right? Listen and follow my logic here. Right? They've been following it since the 90s, been filing things, trying to get. I saw something that says since 95, Kim. Since 1995, they've been trying, right? Okay. I feel like some people who knew what it was trying to let it be out here when that Steele dossier shit popped. Because see, I do believe that the Russians got some compromise. They got proof. That's another reason why they got Trump on that short leash. Because the shit that the Russians do have on him is enough to take him down politically. Not just politically, but personally too. You got where I'm coming from? Your stuff is in the dryer. Even your smock, I washed it this morning for you. No problem. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? Right? So I feel like people been trying to tell us, but we weren't listening. We didn't want to hear it. You understand? Folks weren't listening. They were just like, I don't know nothing about that. They just weren't listening. I'm telling you, this thing go deep. And it's not just Trump, because we got Justice Department after Justice Department getting reports and doing nothing. You know? And doing nothing. That's not an accident. And in my opinion, Trump did not run for president because he was mad at Obama. Now all this shit makes fucking sense. Trump ran for president because that shit with Epstein was starting to get traction. The shit with Epstein was starting to get traction. Okay? It was starting to get traction. And Trump is a face of things, but there are a whole lot of rich people that Trump also knows, that he also knows they weren't going to run for president, but Trump ain't had no problem doing it. Because Trump was going to say the shit that none of them were willing to say. Because his ass was on the line. His ass was on the line. Now, Trump becomes president. Thinks that he's finally, this is just my guesses on shit. He becomes president. Epstein gets unalived in prison. And the thought is, this is all wrapped up and done. I'll never have to hear about this again. But it didn't go away. Didn't go away. Didn't go away. See? It never went away. Right? Because the victims, they kept talking. And now they were getting people to listen to them that were afraid to listen before or didn't care to listen. Right? Didn't care to listen. But those people are listening now. Right? So then Trump runs, he runs again. Because folks getting close. Real close. Real close. And he can't afford to let nobody get no closer. Right? He got released by Republicans in Florida initially. Don't sell yourself short. Pam Bondi. Acosta. People from Trump's cabinet. Acosta was in Trump's cabinet the first time and left because people started asking Epstein questions before. That's why he left the cabinet the first time. No, I didn't see the victim press conference because I've been in this, so I didn't get to see it. Listen, one of the videos I'm going to show y'all this morning on Patreon is a video from Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't even like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but let me tell you what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Marjorie Taylor Greene said outright, Trump told her, listen, you need to back up off this thing. Why? Why? I'm telling you, Marjorie saw shit in there too, and I'm going to tell you what it is. She don't want to be on the wrong side of that shit. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's done a lot of ridiculous, stupid shit. But on that right there, she like, ain't no way to spend no shit like that. No way, because she right. It ain't. She's right. It's no way to spend that shit. You just look like a fucking creep on shit like that. That's why. She said Trump told her, you need to leave this alone, right? Because you're going to hurt a lot of people that I know. Trump don't give a shit about nobody but Trump. So that was bullshit. Trump don't want to get hurt by the shit. And that's a fact. He don't give a damn about nobody else. Let's be honest here. Trump don't care about nobody else. Never have. Never have. He read them yesterday. Ro Khanna read those names on the House floor yesterday because the Justice Department can't touch him or nobody else for doing that shit. Can't touch him. They're in the commission of doing their congressional duties. Can't touch them. Thomas Massie threatened to read them. Ro Khanna did instead. But notice, when you look at media today, they're not going to mention none of these fucking names. And they're in the files. They're in the files. And they will tell you, oh, they not saying nothing out of lawsuits. They can still talk about it by saying they were in the files. Say it again. If Trump was not in those files, Trump would have been released them. He would have released that shit on day one. Trump don't release the files because Trump's in the files. And that's a fact. That's why he don't release them, because he's in them. Jamie Raskin, the press talked to him after he looked at some stuff, and he said, oh, Trump in there over 1 million times. Of course he all up and through them files. Him and Jeffrey Epstein were very close friends. And y'all forget, the private jet, before Trump got back in office the second time, the private jet that Trump was using and flying on was Jeffrey Epstein's old jet. I told y'all ain't no such thing as a fucking coincidence. Y'all don't believe it. There's no such thing as a coincidence. I told y'all about one of Trump's spiritual advisors, a man, just got hemmed up on charges. of victimizing vulnerable people. There are no coincidences. This shit is none of it's a coincidence. None of it's an accident. None of it. None of it. I just want y'all to know it's been going on right in our faces and none of us were getting it. Do you get it now? The question is what you can do about it. You got to stay on your fucking elected officials, especially if they're Republicans. If they're Republican officials, you got to stay on them even harder because they're going to do everything in their power to not hold the president accountable. But they'll hold you accountable for any little thing. If you tried to collect rainwater in your yard, the government will show up for you. They doing all that. They did all that stuff. I remember a time in politics, just a suspicion of you doing something was enough to get you gone out of politics. Not now. Shit, the proof can be right in folks' face and they still go, nah. What does that say about America? Folks don't believe in truth. They only believe in the shit that make them feel good. You know what I saw this morning online? I saw online. Y'all remember the Super Bowl was on Sunday, right? And it was a picture of Lady Gaga and Bad Bunny during the performance, right? So it was a MAGA person, and they said they had drawn circles around her hands and said, look at her hands. And look at that's a mark of the devil. And look what they're doing. And somebody responded and said, it's amazing how y'all can spend so much time studying pictures of the Super Bowl, but you won't spend that much time looking at the details of the Epstein files. They don't want to. Those people don't care. See, this is the other thing y'all got to understand. MAGA doesn't care. I know it's hard for y'all to process that. MAGA don't give a fuck about kids. They don't care about nothing that happened to no kids. They don't care. Why the hell would they care about what rich people have done to kids? Hell, stuff will happen to kids in their own community and they don't care. So why the fuck would they care on the other side? Why would they care on the other side? I just want you to think about it. This is why I tell you they try to infuse religion into the shit. Because religion tells them just pray on it. No, honestly, Darby, they don't even care when it doesn't involve you know who. That's bullshit. It's a bullshit false equivalency designed to test you to see how far you willing to go. Because their assumption is that you're so loyal to liberals the way they are to Trump. That is the assumption that MAGA makes. MAGA believes that liberals won't hold any liberal accountable for being in those files. That we'll just turn a blind eye and act like it ain't a big deal. But when we say lock their ass up too, they like, whoa, 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 whoa. I think we're moving a little too fast. They don't want it then. Once you lean into saying, because I've done it, I say, well, lock Bill Clinton up. Like, I don't give a fuck about him not going to jail. He should go to jail if he did some shit he wasn't supposed to. Hold them all accountable. Then they go, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Then all of a sudden, they don't want to talk about it no more. It's not that big of a deal no more. Oh no, it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. And America, if you let rich people get away with it, all it shows is that there ain't nothing that ain't for sale in America. That's what it shows. And so as you lose more access to your communities, your families, your education system. Listen, if you'll let them violate your most vulnerable, everybody's on the menu. Wow. Show me your kitties. I'm not surprised by that. The folks who protest the loudest tend to be the folks doing the mostest. That's why I pay attention to conservatives. They protest too loud. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you a grand example. When I see a person that spends a lot of time talking about gay people, oh, I don't like gay, and gay people shouldn't be able to do this, and they should, that person's gay. They just don't want nobody else to know they're gay. Yep. Joker's gone, y'all. We move fast around here. Thank you, Maud. I didn't even see it because my head was down at the time. It's probably the same person that I keep blocking. They just come back on different accounts. You can't, we're at a critical point now. See, what did I tell y'all? Trump is exposing America, and Americans have to make a choice. Who are you? What is America? Is America a country that just protects rich people who do whatever they want, when they want, how they want, and they above the law? Because what you're saying is, when you ignore that shit, you are saying rich people are above the law. And that's very dangerous. Oh, that's dangerous. Because it's all fun and games until they do something to you. And you can't get no justice, no recourse, no nothing. See, it's all fun and games until it happens to you. Just like when I told y'all that story about that guy earlier and his wife. She sat in that detention for 5 months. 5. A liberal judge is the only reason why she hasn't been deported yet. Honestly, she should have been. Judge should have asked, who you married to? Oh, deport her ass. Her husband wanted this. And then tell her, ma'am, I assume your husband wanted a divorce, but he was too afraid to ask for one, so he just had you deported. File paperwork to come back. But you know you can't go back over there. Quiet is kept. Listen, I said this. I said Trump was the best and the worst thing that ever happened to America. Because now America ain't got nowhere else to hide no more. People can't go, America's not racist. Yes, it is. It's exposed. You ain't got nowhere to hide no more. We know, we don't hate immigrants. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We don't hate women. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It's just nowhere else to hide. We don't like boys. Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. That's what it's been. Trump has exposed America. That's why I say it's down to America to decide who they want to be. What's your identity? Who do you want to identify as? The hateful nationalists? Or do you want to be a part of the rest of the world? That's really the basic fucking question. You say Trump is America's punishment from God. Could be, but see, I say don't put God in this. God ain't had nothing to do with it. Catch that part. This is some free will shit. This is some free will shit. God had nothing to do with this. This was man. This was man leading all into that. Hey, Queen, Tootsie Roll. Well, I was about to jump up and start doing the Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Roll, hey, Tootsie Roll, Tootsie. I'm showing my age. Let me stop. But this is free will shit. This ain't got nothing to do with God. Because this is, think about all the sins. You got gluttony, you got lust happening, you got greed happening. This ain't got nothing to do with God. Say it again. God gave us free will, and folks still chose to follow the person that's not religious. See, I've always said if Jesus came back today, conservatives would crucify him. Hands down, they crucify him. You know why? Because to them, that's not what a God looks like. To them, a God got money. A God got gold and resources and riches. To them, riches aren't to be full of good moral character. They don't want that shit. They like, man, fuck all that. Where the money at? Where the bitches at? They don't care about that other stuff. They use religion to make you obedient, while they run around doing all types of wild shit. But the religion is designed to keep your ass in check. Because they never gonna live the life that they want you to live. Real shit. I always found it odd that Christians were praying over a billionaire. I always found that odd to me. Because I'm like, I'm a Buddhist. And obviously I've read more of the Bible than these Christians have. Because I'm going, Jesus wasn't hanging out with rich people. See, Trump also exposed that people who said they were religious were not religious at all. They were fucking lying. They were never religious. They never believe in no religion. They never believe in that shit. Religion is designed to keep you obedient. That's it. It's about getting influence over your life and keeping influence over your life. Question for y'all. How many times have y'all heard about some raggedy ass pastor or priest was carrying on away from the church, just doing all types of crazy shit, but then showing up when they do show up to church, telling everybody how they got to live? That's how they do. Rules for thee, not for me. Religion is designed to keep your ass in check and to keep you from questioning man. Because God never said you couldn't ask no questions. Man said that. God didn't never say you couldn't ask no questions. Okay? Say that again, Michael. I hadn't seen nothing about no drag. Let me tell you who not in them Epstein files. Drag queens. Gay men. Notice, the very people that they always told you was going to indoctrinate your children, hurt your kids, they not in them files. They're not in them files. They not in there. Rich people in there. Bad Bunny not in there. Not in there. But that's not, they didn't want you to think about that though. They didn't want you to think about that though. Right? Today, when you're out and about, I want you to check out media and see how many times you hear these names today. You ain't gonna really hear these names today. I'm looking right now because, you know, they're having that hearing up on the Hill, talking about the files and all this other stuff. And Pam Bondi's up there. Pam Bondi gonna lie, and she gonna keep on lying. Pam Bondi been covering for PDFs ever since she was in Florida down there as the AG. She been covering for them, and she gonna keep covering for them. And if y'all think for 1 second that all this shit stopped when Jeffrey Epstein unalived, I got a bridge to sell you. And listen, and obviously Ghislaine Maxwell got some great information for Trump to move her from a maximum security prison to a low security prison where she could have a dog, where she could work a job, where she can literally leave the compound to go to work. She must got some real good information. He not hiding. No. No. A guy like Jeffrey Epstein is not hiding. He has too much compromise on too many fucking people. He not hiding. There would be no safe space for that man. He's not hiding. Trust me on this. I don't think he's hiding at all. Now, when you got that much information on that many powerful people with a whole lot of fucking money, he not hiding. He not here no more. Period. He not here no more. No, I haven't seen pics of the guy that looks just like him. But I'm telling y'all, he not hiding. He not hiding. When you got compromise on the president of the United States, there's nowhere for you to hide. Nowhere. Because it ain't just on the president. He got shit on the president and all these people. And even more, I'm sure. Even more, I'm sure. Trust me on this. Not the him downstairs. Why? When I saw that, I thought about Bernie Mac. Him downstairs. Listen. But y'all understand where I'm coming from? Jeffrey Epstein is not somewhere hiding out. You know how they love to say, like, Tupac not dead. Yes, he is. I never understood people saying that. Tupac's still alive. So Tupac's still alive when his mother was alive. The one person on earth he loved more than anybody. He gonna hide from her too. Okay. Tupac was dead. Yeah, they swear Elvis still alive. I'm like, no, Elvis is dead. Y'all really must not understand. Some people who thought Elvis was alive, Elvis loved his daughter, Lisa Marie. He ain't about to hide from Lisa fucking Marie. Wasn't about to hide from her. Now, maybe hide from some Elvis fans, yeah. But he wasn't about to hide from his daughter. I'm telling you, rich and powerful people, they thought when Epstein was unalived in prison that all of this would go away. But it has not gone away. It's not gone away. And it shouldn't go away. Real shit. It shouldn't go away. And I'm glad that it hasn't gone away and it's continued to make traction. You say TikTok is stopping people till they have to click on your... Oh, I'm not surprised. When I start talking about certain things, TikTok don't like that. TikTok just doesn't like that. And it's okay. It don't have to. That's the beauty of having discussions in other places too. Thank y'all. I appreciate that. Again, I'm looking at this stuff. Look, I just caught something else. Hold on. Let me see. Now, did y'all see this thing yesterday about in 2018, Jeffrey Epstein purchased 330 gallons of sulfuric acid for Epstein Island? Did y'all see that? Now, I'm not going to say what he did with that because I don't know what he would do with that. But again, it's more things that make you go, You understand? More things that make you go, That's all I'm going to say. More things that just make you go, that doesn't make any sense. Thank you, user 105. That don't make no sense. At all. Now, I want to tell y'all something since I know y'all are out in these cities and ICE is all over the place. Listen, ICE has changed its approach. Okay? I want to tell y'all so you don't get caught up. ICE is now dressing in plain clothes. So you don't know the difference between them and a regular citizen. Real shit. So be careful. They're not wearing any masks anymore. And they're walking around like they're residents. And I'm going to show y'all a video of this morning when we on Patreon. And they're not using American cars. See, again, folks done figured out when they coming. So they're going to try to keep changing their tactics. So y'all got to remember, Stephen Miller expects millions and millions and millions of people to be deported. In order for that many people to be deported, oh, you got to snatch up everybody. You got to snatch up everybody, even the legal folks. Yep, we're right back to looking for undercovers again. Listen, I grew up, I was born in the 70s and grew up in the 80s at the height of a lot of pharmaceutical activity. One thing I learned how to do is identify an undercover officer. Like, we learned that pretty young. Undercover officers moving about the neighborhood because you just looking like, who is this person? This person don't even look like they live around here. They don't move like they live around here. The way you dressed, you trying too hard to fit in. Yeah. Yep, they have certain looks. Yep. So I remember the 80s and the 90s of us identifying. This is why even still today, when I'm driving, I can tell a cop car, an unmarked cop car. I can pick that shit out of a lineup. Because I grew up seeing so much of them trying to blend in, and they never blend in, ever. It's always like, the whole community is always like, look at this busted ass cop, man. He think we don't know he a cop. He walking around, hey, you got any action? No, there's no action around here, fuck boy. Beat it. Why don't you go uptown? Because the people from uptown, they come over this side of town anyway. Why don't you go over there? They got plenty, I'm sure. But they ain't never want to go uptown. Never want to go to the other side of town. Always on our side of town. It's the same thing. So just letting y'all know, they getting smarter. Protect yourself. Real shit. Protect yourself. And that's a fact. Protect yourself. Now, do I have any people in here from Virginia? Because Virginia's trying to do something that I don't think any other state is doing quite yet. And Maryland needs to do this. Virginia now is working, right? Specifically Northern Virginia. They're working to cut power bills by shifting the costs to the data centers. Because I know all y'all done seen y'all electric bill go sky high, right? That's them fucking data centers. They're using our money to subsidize the costs for the data centers that rich people have built to fund their pet AI projects. So now Virginia has a bill that is going to shift the costs of the data centers to the data center and not to the citizens like it's been going. And that's a fact. They say if this passes, the costs for data centers would sharply increase to roughly 16%, whereas residential and non-high usage customers would drop from 3.5% to 3%. Make them pay. See, the thing is this, rich people don't like growth that they have to use their own money to make happen. They want to use our money to grow and expand. They love to use our money for growth and expansion, just not their own. No, if they want to build data centers to fund their AI projects, they need to build data centers and pay for their own fucking usage. Yeah, that's why the electricity bill is so high. Data centers. And they spread the costs out onto all of us. Oh, fuck no. We're not doing all of that usage. That's them. They should have to pay, not us. You know how you can make that happen? Call your local elected officials days and say, listen, y'all need to do something about these electricity bills. You need to be passing legislation that the data centers got to pay their own fair share. I'm tired of this high ass electric bill and my usage ain't changed. You're not using any more electricity than you used before. It's just that the data centers have been built in your areas. Listen, this is something else I want to tell y'all. In your local area, before they're going to build these things and do these things, they still have local hearings. You need to go to those fucking hearings and make your voice heard. Because your local governments, they bank on you not showing up to them damn hearings. Want me to tell you how you find out about the hearings? You'll see little tiny signs. They love to make the signs real tiny and small. So when you driving, you see a sign, but you don't really read the sign. Catch it. That's what they want. That's what they want. They don't really want you to pay attention. But they want to be able to say they did notify the community. Oh, there's signs there. We notified the community. Yeah, but it's sitting on a road that the speed limit is 55 miles per hour and ain't no shoulder. So how anybody supposed to stop to read that sign? Because it's not designed for you to get awareness and make good. No, it's designed to just fake like they gave you notification. Because that's the goal, to fake like they gave you notification so they can still do what they want to do. Like in my area, people also put that shit on Nextdoor. Hold on, you guys. I had a call come through. They also put that shit on Nextdoor in my area. Yep. So that if people don't see it, you'll see it on Nextdoor. I was reading something local yesterday, and that's not even in my district. And the people in the other district in my state were talking about the shit. Like, this is the hearing. This is where it's located. This is what they trying to do. Y'all better use some damn things accessible to y'all to make your neighbors aware, and y'all show up at them fucking hearings. You say y'all have a data center being built in your area. They immediately drilled 27 wells. Yeah, because data centers need a lot of water. And when they take water from the community just to fuel shit for rich people. Oh yeah, the hearings are always in the middle of the day so that they guarantee you don't come. Make it, listen, that's why y'all need, what have I been talking about from the beginning? Having a co-op, right? So that you have a group of y'all working together and y'all can each, like, depending on the meetings, a group of y'all go to this meeting, a group of y'all go to that, but y'all representing the voices of all of y'all. You understand? Yep, that's why your light bill went up, Wrestler Queen. Data centers. Data centers. Your usage has not changed. It's just that rich people are using you and your money. The electricity companies are spreading that shit over to you, even though it's not you. It's the data centers. Enough's enough, folks. Rich people will destroy Earth. In their quest to make money, they will destroy Earth in their quest to make money. Real talk. I'm just letting y'all know. And you say they're bringing one to Texas? Let me tell you something, honey. Data centers already in Texas because I looked it up, right? Guess how many data centers are either operating and planned in Texas? Texas has the second largest market in the United States for data centers after Virginia. Texas has anywhere from 390, wait for it, to 4,100 data centers. Oh yeah, they all up and through Texas too. They all up and through Texas. See, I told y'all a lot of this shit gets done and they have hearings, but they make sure you won't be there. They say Virginia is the world's largest data center market, with estimates of operational facilities ranging over 550 to more than 650. Northern Virginia alone holds roughly 70%. I didn't even know this, and I don't live too far from Northern Virginia. Holds roughly 70% of the global internet traffic. I'm going to say that one more time. Northern Virginia alone holds 70% of the global internet traffic. In Northern Virginia. Not the whole state of Virginia, just Northern Virginia. Rich people building shit. You heard me. And your local governments are allowing them to build the shit. Yep. And on top of building data centers, they build things to track you. Your television, your cell phone, your car, your computer, your stove. Hell, some of y'all even got smart washers and dryers, and y'all even letting them collect data on your washing habits of your clothing. Yep, microwaves. I never understood the smart refrigerator thing. I remember when our refrigerator went out a couple of years ago, and I was shopping for a new fridge. And I remember going to Home Depot, and there were so many smart refrigerators. And I remember saying, why the hell do I need a smart fridge? You put food in there. And in order for me to know what's bad, I go in there and I clean out my fucking fridge. Why do I need a smart fridge? You know, the thing where you go to the front, you click the button and it lets you look inside the fridge without opening the door. How fucking lazy do I have to be to not even want to open the door to know what's in there? Maybe I don't need nothing to eat. If I am too lazy to open the door, I shouldn't be eating anyway. Sound like I got a food problem. What they say, what my man say from House Party, sound like I got a weight problem. I can't wait to eat. I'm so fucking lazy, I can't even pull open the door to look inside the fridge. And some people will say, no, it's also because when you're at work, right? And say you're on your way home, but you're going to stop at the grocery store and you don't know if you got butter, you can look inside the fridge before you come home. Or you could have just stopped at the fucking store and got butter as a just in case. You're going to need the butter at some point anyway. Say it again, Scorp. That's why you make a list. But all you did was give them more license to surveil you with your refrigerator. So you walking around in your house bucket ass naked and your refrigerator is watching you. Standing with the fridge open, eating grapes, ass out. And you thought you was in the privacy of your own fucking home. No, they gathering data. See, I told y'all data's king, right? Data is king. More so than the apps. I'm telling you. I'm going to give you another example. Everybody in here who owns a car, you also have car insurance, right? And you know how your car insurance will say, hey, listen, download our app, right? And you'll save money on your bill, right? Listen, they don't give a fuck about that. They don't mind giving you a $20 credit, $30 credit. You know why? Because the data that they get from that app, once you download it and sign in and start using it, that data is invaluable. They'd rather get the data. Honestly, they'd rather get the data. Real shit. And you say with Savannah Guthrie's missing mom, they pulled data from a non-subscription Blink camera. See, this is the other thing too. With her missing mother, Cameras are everywhere. I find it hard to believe, and again, they're not telling us everything. I find it hard to believe the only cameras that caught anything were the ones at her house. People got to get to locations and they got to leave locations. There should be enough camera footage to catch all that shit. Except if you don't want it caught. I'm telling y'all, the police state is corporations creating tools and products to work in conjunction with government to surveil you. That's the bottom line. It's about surveillance and gathering information on you that people can then lean on you to get you to do what they want you to do. No, I haven't heard about March 7th. What's that? Yeah, I talked about the Ring doorbell camera yesterday. Listen, I told y'all this too. I work in privacy. I don't own a Ring doorbell camera. I don't have any cameras in my home. None. Because working in privacy, what I know is in cybersecurity, it's always a possibility for them fucking cameras to be on. Always. Even when they tell you they not. I have an Alexa. I don't leave that bitch plugged up though. I only plug her up when I'm going to talk to her. If I ain't going to talk to her, that hoe stay unplugged. She can't do no eavesdropping up in here. And I know for some of y'all will go, but why? How else would she hear you call her fucking name if she ain't always listening? You get it? She can't respond to you if she ain't always listening. She'd have to always be listening to know when you say, Alexa. And then she light up. Because she's always listening. Always. I'm just letting you know. Always. I remember when we got our alarm, the guy was like, y'all sure y'all don't want a camera here? We were like, no. And I told him outright no. Because I don't always walk around fully clothed in my house. It ain't nothing in here y'all need to fucking see. Anything that y'all would have needed to see if somebody got in here, shit y'all saw when they came in with the front camera. You don't even need to see what was inside. You don't need to see that. That's real invasive. No, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. And I'm going to tell you something. If rich people sell it to you under the guise of convenience. Oh, it's so convenient. It's so convenient. Yeah, it's convenient for them to watch your ass too. Yep, your dad did too, Smart. Listen, those of us who come from privacy and cybersecurity, that type of shit, we don't like. If I'm going to have certain types of conversations, I don't even bring my cell phone in the room. They're always listening. I'm telling you, when your cell phone is off, it ain't off. Okay? When it's off, it's not off. See, back in the day, we used to be able to take batteries out of cell phones. So when we turn that bitch off and pull the battery out, that motherfucker off. You heard me? Not now. Just when you think your phone is off, it ain't off. I know you've had that circumstance before. You're like, I thought I turned this motherfucker off. It's never off. It's never. It's always listening. How else does it learn if it don't? Yep, laptops too. If you don't want them to hear you, you better put them somewhere where they can't. Because as long as they're around, they're always watching you. Think about it as it's almost like living in a casino. Imagine living in a casino. That's the perfect way to frame it. Imagine living in a casino. If you lived in a casino, you'd constantly be watched. And you just expect it. You live in a fucking casino. That's how you live in America, in a casino. And Zarita, perfect way. The Matrix. The Matrix warned everybody what it was going to be. But folks thought they was getting convenience. No, you're not. Something as simple as your email. You know how when companies ask for your email address, do y'all understand how important your email address is? How somebody can just take your email and use just your email to figure out your address, your date of birth, might be able to get your SSN. It don't take much. An email address, you need to be protecting your email address like you protect your blood type. Everybody shouldn't have access to your email address. And you need to have different email addresses for different things. When you're signing up for store rewards, you got a different email address for that. When you searching for jobs, you got a different email address for that. Something just with family and friends, you got a different email address for that. You understand where I'm coming from? Because an email, you'd be surprised at how much information you can gather on a person from just an email address. Real talk. Wake up, folks. And look, and somebody said about LinkedIn wanting you to keep it up. You know what's even more funnier? LinkedIn won't let you use a Google Voice number on their website. They will not let you use voice over IP. Oh no, they want a phone number. See? They want a real number. Right? Because they want to be all up in your fucking business. That's why. That's why. Data is king. I need y'all to understand. Andrew Yang tried to tell everybody that we should be getting paid for our data. We should be. Americans should be paid for our data. Companies are gathering data from us all the time, and they're making money off of our data. They're reselling data. They're doing, but everybody getting paid off of us, but us. Everybody but us is making money off of our data. We should be. Oh, Elon got a lot of our data. And remember, I told y'all when Elon was in the Doge shit, all that shit was about getting access to data and shutting down government departments. That's what it was all about. Shutting down data, getting data and shutting down government departments that were doing oversight. They went and got all that data from the Social Security Administration. I am telling you, as somebody who worked in privacy, you better put an alert on your fucking credit report. Because your data is out there. Is your data ever truly scrubbed? No. No. Because systems have backups. No. Most people are not going in the backups. And get this, the backups and then there are backups of backups. I'm telling you, as somebody who worked in privacy, because when I would be doing privacy assessments on systems, sections, I always ask about the backups. Where are the backups stored? Who manages those backups? How long is data retained in those backups? Because if you're doing a little bit too much on backing up of data and all this other shit, then I'm going to have more questions for you. Why are you hanging on to that amount of data for that long? What are you using it for? All of our info's on the dark web, y'all. That's why I say put alerts on your credit report. I remember one time I got so bad with somebody stealing my identity. When I sent for my credit report, it came to my house in her name. I was listed as a fucking alias. Did you hear that? I was listed as an alias on my own fucking credit report. And still to this day, I watch my shit like a hawk because that bitch, just a couple of years ago, she ordered fucking furniture. And one day I get a text out of nowhere about, thank you for your order. will be setting up for delivery. So I called the number. I say, hey, I got this text talking about thank me for my order. I didn't order shit. This woman is all the way in California. I didn't order shit. I told them people at that store, I said, listen, y'all can go ahead and deliver that furniture if you want to. She ain't gonna pay you a fucking dime because she's obviously using my social to get furniture that she knows she never gonna pay. And then I gotta spend my time fighting to get that shit off my credit report. This bitch went and had a whole baby at a hospital and didn't pay the bill. She went and had a baby and used my social. Now, I'm going to tell you that, she didn't stop there. I'm going to tell you the creme de la creme. The creme de la creme. That bitch tried to get a home loan. I already have a home. Now, bitch, I make decent money, but I ain't make that type of money to be buying multiple homes and the bank be like, you good. No, the bank wasn't going to do that. Wasn't going to do that. I'm telling you, watch your shit. I'm going to tell you something else. As somebody who's worked in privacy and cybersecurity, stop just throwing your trash in the trash. Stop doing that shit. Your trash with your stuff with PII on it. Don't just throw that in the trash. It don't take nothing for somebody to go through your fucking trash and pull it out and use it. Don't do that. Shred that stuff or burn that stuff. Because I'm telling you, just throwing the shit in the trash, you're going to get caught up. And that includes when those companies send you credit card offers and line of credit offers. Do not just throw those in the trash. I know somebody that got. Y'all remember back in the day when you used to be able to send in a voided check to those companies and they would print new checks for you and send them to you? I know somebody that got on that. Somebody took one of their old checks, filled out one of those things to get new checks, but had the checks go to a different address. But they were still drawn on that other person's bank account. And they didn't know until those checks start hitting their account. Don't throw that shit just in the trash. Okay? Scammers love when you just throw shit in the trash. Because they're going to go dig in the trash and get that shit and use it for their benefit. Shred or burn. Those are the only things. Real talk. Those are the only things. Do not just throw it in the trash can. I'm telling you, I'm trying to prepare y'all so y'all don't do that to yourself. Don't throw that shit in the trash. No, shred or burn it. That's the only way to keep scammers out of your shit. Yep, people go through the trash. And they go through the trash because the trash is a gold mine. People just throw shit in the trash and don't think about it. They think they'll be okay. Yep, especially the shipping label. See, another way y'all get got too. Y'all buy shit and y'all leave all your boxes outside. Stop doing that shit. Stop. Criminals drive through neighborhoods. They see them fucking boxes. Oh shit, a $12,000 credit card, but God, woo, chill. I know your husband was like, oh hell no, I gotta make a call. I can believe it. I can believe it. I can believe it, dude. If you don't want to get scammed, don't move in ways that are going to leave you open to getting scammed. Don't be downloading shit and just putting it on your computer because you're putting spyware on your computer and them fucking scammers just watching everything you do from a remote location. They getting every keystroke, every password, every website visit, everything. Stop just downloading and clicking on any fucking thing. And remember, I told y'all, it don't take nothing for people to spoof a website. It takes less than 30 seconds to create a fake Amazon that you think looks real, but it's not really Amazon. and you go there and you shop in there and you think you really on Amazon and you log in and you do all these things, and next thing you know, they're going to get you got. Don't do that. See, Morena said, happened to me. I'm telling y'all, protect yourself. Yeah, people should be taking cybersecurity. Government used to do a good job about educating the public on those things, but not no more, because there's a lot of scammers in government now. So they don't want you knowing the difference between what's right and what's wrong. Federal government used to train us all the time on phishing and scam emails, because we would get tons of them as a government employee, because they were always trying to get into government systems. Always. And those people are always trying to get into your system too, with fake ass emails and shit. Stop clicking on, especially a lot of scammers be on TikTok. So the amount of fake ass, scamming ass TikTok emails I get every day is criminal. Don't click on them shits. TikTok don't email you like outside the app. They don't really be doing that. They do their shit inside the app and not through DMs. Don't fall for that shit. There are specific places where TikTok communicates with you. Yep, unless if you make an order. Oh, she thought she was helping a veteran but got scammed. Yeah, the scammers be scamming. I'm just telling y'all. The scammers scam hardcore. I told y'all a couple weeks ago, last month, I was getting calls from what looked like my mortgage company. So I answered the call, and the guy had an accent that was weird to me, but I was like, okay. So then I was like, and he was asking me for money, and I knew my mortgage company don't do that. And I knew I didn't owe them no money. So I then called my mortgage company and said, hey, just so y'all know, I got a call today from this guy. It came up like it was y'all, and he pretended to be y'all, but I knew he wasn't. Because my mortgage company puts notices on the website so that we all know, hey, yo, any calls you getting, them scamming ass calls, we don't call that say nothing like that. Now, folks, I'm going to start wrapping up because we are going into our uncensored show this morning on Patreon. I got so much this morning. Well, I'm going this way because I'm trying to get something. I got so much to talk to y'all about and show y'all this morning that I cannot do on TikTok, because TikTok, I can't do nothing over here. So TikTok real funny acting about, there's a whole lot of subjects we can't talk about on TikTok. And so, and for the things that I am talking about, I don't want to have to use filler words. I'm being honest. Listen, I remember let me tell y'all something. You talking about you had to report the scam check. Remember I told you about the woman that stole my identity and my stuff came to my house. My credit report came to my house and I looked and I was listed as an alias. I filed a police report, right? Police came to my house. Do you know what they told me? They couldn't tell me nothing about her because she had a right to privacy. I'm going to say it one more time. The scammer had a right to privacy. She stole my shit, but she got a right to privacy. Yeah, they wouldn't give me no info on her. That's that bullshit. Everybody got a right to privacy but us. Oh no, Anthony, they don't see it that way. The scammer has a right to privacy just like you do. So the cops wouldn't tell me shit about her because she had a right to privacy. Boom. She had a right to privacy. See, that's the other part. That's why I said protect your information. This is why I tell y'all that. Protect your information. Because the scammers got the same rights you got. And the cops are not going to run to her. That woman still ain't never been arrested. That woman is still roaming around America if she ain't in somebody's detention center by now. Oh, I couldn't press charges on her. All I could do was file a police report. So she was in California. That's all I could do. It was so, I told you, that woman tried to have a baby on me. Well, she did have a baby on me. And I had to get that hospital thing discharged off my credit report because I was like, one, I didn't have no baby there. And two, I ain't never even been to California. So how the fuck would I have a baby in California? She got a Sprint cell phone. She had cell phone service using my fucking social and didn't keep paying the bill. So the shit went to collections. One day I go to my mailbox. I get a letter in the mail from Sprint saying I owe them money. I'm like, I ain't never even had Sprint. I don't owe y'all shit. I call, but they won't talk to me because it's not in my name. Right to privacy. So I'm going to tell y'all where I reported it to an agency that Trump and them got rid of. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. I reported it to CFPB. And what did CFPB do? Contact Sprint. Then Sprint dealt with the shit. But Sprint never should have gave her an account because I already had a fraud alert on my credit report proving the big guys don't give a shit. They just want to make money. They don't care about your privacy and protecting your credit. And I even tried to get a new social. I said, well, fuck it. The government not going to protect me. Denied. It's really hard to get a new social security number once the government has already issued you a social security number. They really don't like to give you another one. And they don't really give a fuck that somebody's stealing your identity. They don't care. So protect your info. I say all that to say protect your info because I've been there. I've been there. And it's bad. Okay? And now you don't have nobody to protect you no more. Because who we had to help us has been dissolved by the Trump administration. Don't it make you wonder why government would want to dissolve an agency that holds private businesses accountable when they do bad shit? Listen, thank y'all for joining me this morning. Okay? Now we're about to get started on Patreon this morning, right? Because I told y'all I got tons of things. And then I want to get into this theory even more, digging, connecting all the dots on this Trump Epstein thing. I'm telling y'all. Last night I was like, look, I had a Big Deborah, so it was a little bit of them thoughts too. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure that's what's happening here. You can find my Patreon. If you click the link in my profile, it's going to take you to my website. And then when you're on my website, you're going to see in my footer, it has all the links to the social media platforms I'm on, and Patreon's in there too. Fridays are the only free day that I do that. Some days I do other free days, but mostly it's on Fridays. So you can join me every Friday. I do an uncensored live also every Friday. That's a freebie Friday. Come through on Fridays. We have a great show on Friday. I don't force anybody into any paid tiers. I also do a free show every week over on Patreon as well. So you can know what it's like when we're on Patreon. Because we have a good time over there. Because we don't have to censor ourselves and pretend. I don't have to say PDF over there. Catch that part. And this morning too, we're also, because I had forgot to show y'all this last time, delve into that memo from Justice Department back in the day about Epstein's death. And the memo was done the day before he even died. How? So you mean to tell me back then the Department of Justice was like Jumper? Y'all ever seen that movie Jumper? Where they can jump into the future and then come back, then jump in the past and then come back? Like the fuck? Exactly. My Patreon, click the link in my profile. It'll take you to my website. And on my website, it's in my footer. All my social media links are in there. Okay. So to those of you who are coming on Patreon, give me 60 seconds. Look, y'all caught that Jumper reference. See, everybody ain't seen Jumper. Everybody ain't seen that. But I used to love me some Jumper. Listen, give me 60 seconds because I'm gonna heat up my coffee because I want some more coffee. I love you all. Thank you we got over 120,000 likes this morning. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. We got over 140 shares. Thank y'all so much. Because we got to put these names out there. Mainstream media not going to do it. They're going to protect these people. Why? Because these people either own a lot of those outlets or they're friends of people who own the outlets. And they're not going to let this shit get out. They're not having that. Love you too, Miss Jackie. Now, before I wrap up this morning, I'm going to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. I try to do this every live. Number 1, beautiful, dearest Amanda. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 2, user 105. Thank you so much, user 105. Number 3, beautiful, my dog is Charlie. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 4, Miss Beautiful Scorp Queen. Thank you so much, gorgeous. Number 5, beautiful Kim X. Thank you so much, beautiful. And then a special shout out to beautiful number 6, Darby. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you for being here today. I'll be back on around, it won't be about till 5:30 this afternoon because I got to drop kids off at work and pick kids up from work. So I got to be domestic. I got to do domestic shit. Okay. So I'll see y'all this afternoon. Listen, I want to remind you, don't let nobody live rent free in your head. Don't feed any trolls, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. I'll see you all on Patreon in a few moments. I'm going to heat up my coffee real quick and throw a couple more logs in the fireplace. I love you. Have a beautiful, blessed day today, everybody. Okay. Oh. And don't forget the new episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast comes out tonight, 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on multiple platforms. You can click the link in my bio to go to my website. It'll tell you all the places you can listen. But I talked this week about the price of staying put and how you getting pushed out of your own communities by big businesses and investors and house flippers, and government ain't do shit about it. They let them do the shit. And they still letting them do it and not do nothing about it. Listen to that episode, okay? I love you all. Peace. I'll see you on Patreon in a few seconds. Have a beautiful and blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye.